Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be talking about a big problem that people encounter when it comes to doing something that they're passionate about for the first time. So a big problem that happens is you start doing something that you're really invested in, whether that's a business, whether it's some kind of passion project like music or writing a blog or whatever it is. It often starts as a side hobby. So something you do on top of something that you need to do to support yourself or to study or whatever. So that could be school, university, job. Most people's side hustles start as something on top of that. So they go to school, they go to uni, they go to work, they do their work, and they come home at the end of the day, and then that's the time where they work on their business that they want to work on, or downloads Reaper and start recording some music. So it starts off as kind of a side hustle. And this is all well and good. But what tends to happen is as they spend more and more time doing this, they gradually start thinking that actually, wouldn't it be great if we freed up some more time for this? Wouldn't it be great if I didn't have to go to work? I didn't have to go to university. I didn't have to go to school. And I had all this time just to work on this business or this album I'm recording or whatever it is. And then often, either through our own mechanizations or through just how these things work, you are presented with such an opportunity where suddenly, if you wish to, you can spend all day just working on your business or your side hustle. So that could be school ends for summer. It could be uni ends for summer. It could be you quit your job. But anyway, you are in this position where you suddenly have loads of time to work on something that you really want to. Now, you'd think this is a really great thing, but what I think happens to a lot of people at this point is they suddenly find that the wind has been taken out of their sails. Meanwhile, before they were using every moment to put in their efforts in doing this passion side thing, whatever it is, suddenly they lose all motivation. And the glum conclusion that a lot of people come to at this point is that you need some kind of other purpose, something else going on in your life to make that side hustle interesting. But I'm never really happy with this as a explanation, because while there's a lot of truth to it, I think there is a way to make yourself interested enough in whatever your side hustle was to spend all day working on it. If you go about it the right way. So, I'm going to start off by explaining what I think goes on when people suddenly quit their job or they go out for uni, the school's finished or whatever it is, and they've suddenly got all this time to spend on their business, and they lose motivation for it. This is what I think is going on. Because it's easy to scold yourself and just rely on a good old-fashioned bit of Jocko Willink discipline, but it's really helpful to know exactly what's going on. So what I think is going on is you've gotten used to doing your passion projects. I'm just going to call it a passion project from now on. You've gotten used to doing your passion projects for a very small percentage of the day. So like I've said, it could just be 1 hour after university or after work. That's all you're really spending on it. So how can you expect yourself to suddenly go from doing it 1 hour a day to do it all day, every day? You might think your passion will bring you through it, but actually that's quite a huge increase in time. There's quite a lot of responsibility there in how you're using your time. And you don't really know how to use your time effectively to see a return on investment in where you're putting your work. You knew how to do it effectively when there was 1 hour, when you only had 1 hour to do what you had to do. But suddenly having a whole day to do your passion project, much harder to know what to invest time on. would you think it unreasonable, to illustrate this, would you think it unreasonable for someone who runs a small Shopify business to suddenly go from that to being the CEO of Amazon overnight? Of course you wouldn't. You'd expect them to take slow steps along the way to get to where they want to be. So you have to build this up in stages. So if you are spending 1 hour a day, don't suddenly expect yourself to be able to spend all day on it, even if it's something you're really passionate about. So that's the first thing to realise. The second thing to realise is how to solve it. So how do we solve this problem? So we know that we can't expect ourselves to go from spending 1 hour a day on your passion project to spending all day on your passion project. So we need somewhere building up over time. And what I think is the most effective thing to do, well, first of all, is just to keep consistency. So if you're doing 1 hour a day on your business, just keep doing that 1 hour a day. Whatever you're doing, just do that. And then the rest of the time, just chill. If you fancy doing more after that 1 hour, great. But if you don't put pressure on yourself to. Because I think a big mistake that people make with business or passion projects or anything is thinking that they have to spend all their time on it. And it's definitely good to spend, I'm not saying don't spend lots of time on your business, but really the work should come to you. It should be self-evident that you need to spend 5 hours on a certain thing. It's not like you think, oh, I'm going to spend 5 hours on this thing. You need to start being task related. So just keep doing what you're doing and keep the ball rolling. That's the most important thing. And the more stuff you do, the more obvious it will be that, oh, I could spend another hour here doing that. I could spend another hour there doing this other thing. So suddenly things will just reach out at you that you can spend time on. And bit by bit, your business will grow and it will really make sense. You really get a sense of how to distribute your time over a whole day. So that's really the thing to bear in mind, is to just keep the ball rolling in whatever capacity, and things will bit by bit come together and you'll be able to make progress. And this is a big principle that's talked about in the 4-hour work week, is that you shouldn't aim to be spending all your day on a business. You should be ruthless with your time and only spend every second that's productive on the business. Don't just try and fill it in with meaningless stuff. So I'm not saying just work 4 hours a week, but bear in mind that you should be focused for what you're doing. And if you're not, there's no point in doing it. So just focus on what you're doing that you know is really productive, and slowly things will build, slowly you'll start to see progress. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.